Gabrielle Krauss never imagined her career as an architect would lead her into the world of Arab royalty. At 48, divorced for 3 years, she had found stability in her Cologne-based firm, which specialized in sustainable projects for the European market. Her life was predictable and organized, exactly what she needed after the traumatic end of her 18-year marriage to Thomas Weber, a businessman who had constantly belittled her professional achievements. It was an ordinary Thursday in March 2024 when everything changed. Gabrielle was reviewing plans for an eco-friendly residential complex when her phone buzzed with an Instagram notification. Normally, she would have ignored it, but something about this message caught her eye. "Good morning, Miss Krauss. I am Sheikh Abdullah bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Your impressive architecture has come to the attention of our royal family. We would like to discuss a special project in the United Arab Emirates." Gabrielle paused, rereading the message twice. The profile showed an elegant man in his mid-40s wearing traditional Emirati clothing in luxurious settings. The photos included meetings with dignitaries, luxury cars, and stunning palaces. The profile had over 100,000 followers and was verified with Instagram's blue checkmark. This must be sophisticated spam, she thought initially. But her professional curiosity was piqued. She had always dreamed of working on large-scale international projects, especially in the Middle East. After a moment's hesitation, she replied politely, "Good morning, Your Highness. I am honored by your interest in my work. Could you give me more details about the project you mentioned?" The response came in less than 15 minutes. "Ms. Krauss, our family is planning a revolutionary cultural complex in Dubai. We need a European architect with a modern vision who is sensitive to our Islamic traditions. You have been carefully selected from hundreds of international professionals after an extensive review of your portfolio." Gabrielle's heart raced. Selected from hundreds. She knew her work was competent, but international recognition of this magnitude seemed surreal. Her hands trembled as she typed her next question. "May I ask specifically why I was chosen? We have studied your portfolio for the past 6 months. Your design for the modern mosque in Berlin impressed us deeply. The way you integrated environmental sustainability with deep religious respect is exactly the vision our family seeks. Furthermore, German women possess unparalleled technical precision and work ethic." Gabrielle remembered the project, a small community mosque she had designed 3 years earlier. It had been a challenging job requiring months of research. How did this sheikh know about such a specific project? This detail only increased her curiosity and flattered her long-dormant professional pride. Over the next 2 weeks, their conversations intensified. Sheikh Abdullah proved surprisingly accessible. He sent spectacular photographs of Dubai, explained his family's vision with passion, and gradually included more personal, warm comments. "Ms. Krauss," he wrote in one message, "I must confess that in addition to your professional competence, your keen intelligence and cultural sensitivity impress me deeply as a person. After years of feeling undervalued in her marriage, this recognition was a balm for old wounds." She began eagerly awaiting his messages, compulsively checking her phone during work meetings. Her research confirmed the Al Maktoum family was real and known for ambitious architectural projects. Everything seemed to confirm his legitimacy. The project took shape through their conversations. Abdullah spoke of a €200 million cultural complex including a museum of contemporary Islamic art, a digital library, a convention center, and a modern mosque. "It will be the ultimate bridge between East and West," he explained. "The initial budget for architectural development is $2 million, but we must start immediately. Our family has deadlines related to sacred calendars." Gabrielle found herself working late, researching Islamic architecture and UAE building regulations. Her friends noticed the change in her. "Gabby, are you sure this sheikh is who he says he is?" asked her best friend, Petra, over lunch. "This seems too good to be true." "Petra, I've checked everything," Gabrielle replied, irritated. "The Al Maktoum family has ruled Dubai for generations. His profile is verified. He demonstrates detailed knowledge of my work that only someone in architecture would know. But you've never had a video call with him." He explained that royal security protocols are strict. All initial communications must be in writing. Besides, he travels constantly on diplomatic missions. Petra wasn't convinced, but Gabrielle was determined. This was her moment to shine. Abdullah soon mentioned the need for her to travel to Dubai for formal presentations to the royal family. "Ms. Krause," he wrote, "our family wishes to evaluate not only your designs but your personality and cultural compatibility. For us, personal trust is fundamental." "When would be convenient?" Gabrielle asked, already mentally rearranging her schedule. "As soon as possible, ideally within 2 weeks. We have a specific window in our family calendar. If we miss it, the project could be delayed for years due to religious and political considerations." The time pressure was intense, but Gabrielle saw it as evidence of legitimacy. Large-scale projects had complex deadlines. "There is one protocol issue," Abdullah added. "Our security regulations require that you travel alone initially. After approval, you may bring your team." Traveling alone to meet someone she'd never seen gave her pause, but Abdullah offered reassurances. "You will have complete security, a private driver, a 5-star hotel, and all meals. Our consulate in Dusseldorf can provide formal confirmation." The mention of the consulate convinced her. Official authorities wouldn't be involved in a scam, right? That evening, Gabrielle called the UAE consulate in Dusseldorf. "Good evening. I'm calling to confirm a diplomatic invitation from Sheikh Abdullah bin Rashid Al Maktoum for a government architectural project." After a brief hold, the reply came, "Yes, we have an official record of an invitation for Ms. Gabrielle Krause, cultural project approved by the Al Maktoum family." Gabrielle hung up, relieved and excited. All the pieces fit. This was her moment of professional glory. What she didn't know was that Abdullah had called the consulate 2 hours earlier, pretending to be her assistant and confirming details of a non-existent invitation. The employee, assuming it was standard protocol, simply repeated the information. A week later, a special delivery arrived at her office. A spectacular arrangement of white and red roses in a crystal vase, with a handwritten note on gold-lettered paper bearing the royal seal. "To the most talented and sensitive architect in Europe. May these roses represent the blossoming of our future partnership. With deep admiration, Abdullah bin Rashid Al Maktoum." Gabrielle was speechless. No one had ever sent her such luxurious flowers. She discreetly posted a photo online, attracting envious comments from colleagues and even an interview request from a prestigious architecture magazine. The gifts didn't stop. 2 days later, an authentic Hermes silk scarf arrived with a note. "So you feel culturally at home when you arrive in Dubai. With growing affection. Gabby, doesn't it seem strange that a prince is sending intimate gifts to an architect he's never met?" Petra asked, examining the scarf. "It's traditional Arab diplomatic protocol," Gabrielle replied confidently. "Gifts demonstrate seriousness and respect." In reality, Abdullah was Mahmoud Hassan, a 35-year-old Pakistani man living in Dubai. For 10 years, he had refined a method for exploiting lonely European professional women through social media research, psychology, and elaborate role-playing. Their conversations grew more intimate. Abdullah began mixing professional discussions with personal comments. "Ms. Krause," he wrote one night, "when I first saw your mosque design, it wasn't just the architecture that impressed me. It was the soul and spiritual sensitivity you put into the work." Gabrielle felt increasingly special. Receiving such validation from an international figure healed the wounds left by her ex-husband, who had called her just a local architect. "Please, call me Abdullah when we're not discussing formal matters," he wrote. Royal titles create unnecessary distance. This request created a powerful sense of intimacy. How many people could call a powerful sheikh by his first name? Abdullah then began sharing seemingly personal vulnerabilities. "Can I speak frankly, Gabrielle? Being royalty is often lonely. Most people approach me for gain, never for who I am. With you, I feel a genuine human connection." Gabrielle was deeply touched. The idea that a powerful prince felt a unique connection with her was deeply seductive. "I feel that connection too, Abdullah," she admitted. It's unusual to find someone who understands architecture as a cultural expression. Exactly, he replied. That's why our family chose you not just as an architect, but as a cultural ambassador between our worlds. The concept of cultural ambassador elevated her status, making her feel important and indispensable. Their conversations began occurring at odd hours due to time zones and his royal schedule. Gabrielle found herself checking messages at 6 a.m. and responding until midnight. "You're working too hard on that Dubai project," commented Klaus, her office assistant. "When was the last time you slept well?" "Projects of this magnitude require total dedication," Gabrielle replied defensively. She didn't want to admit she was losing sleep over the addictive excitement of communicating with Abdullah. Abdullah then revealed the next level of his manipulation. "Gabrielle, I need to share something confidential. Our family is considering not just this project, but a series of developments over 5 years. Total investments exceeding 500 million euros. Gabrielle's eyes lit up. 500 million euros would transform her career and finances. "If our partnership is successful," Abdullah continued, "you would become our exclusive lead architect for the Emirates' cultural modernization. Imagine the historic impact we could have." Gabrielle began daydreaming of designing museums, libraries, and cultural centers. Her name would be mentioned among the great international architects. "There is one traditional protocol," Abdullah added hesitantly. "For projects of this sensitivity, our family requires assurances of commitment. A symbolic investment of 15,000 euros to cover initial government licenses and legal preparations. It's fully refundable after contracts are signed." Gabrielle paused. 15,000 euros was a significant portion of her savings. But if it was refundable and the potential return was 500 million euros, "I understand your hesitation," Abdullah said quickly. "How about this? Come to Dubai first as our guest. Evaluate everything in person. If after 3 days you decide it's not for you, we cover all expenses with no obligation." The offer seemed generous. She could evaluate everything before committing. "As a demonstration of our seriousness," Abdullah added, "I will personally cover your entire trip. First-class airfare, 5-star hotel, private driver, all meals. You will be treated as our guest of honor." It was irresistible. A fully paid, luxurious trip to evaluate the project without commitment. "Abdullah, I am honored by your generosity," she replied. "I accept your invitation." "Perfect," he replied. "My personal assistant, Amira, will contact you with travel details. I am genuinely looking forward to meeting you. I have a feeling our collaboration will be the beginning of something special." Gabrielle hung up, her heart racing. It was just professional excitement, she told herself, but a small voice whispered that it might be romantic too. She didn't know that Amira was Mahmoud's cousin, Ahmad, who worked at a travel agency and would book seemingly luxurious tickets with a cloned credit card. The 5-star hotel would only be paid for 2 nights, not the promised 5. With growing anticipation, Gabrielle began packing for Dubai, imagining she was embarking on the adventure of a lifetime. In reality, she was walking into an elaborate trap that could cost her savings, her safety, and potentially her life. Emirates flight EK-43 from Frankfurt to Dubai departed on time. Gabrielle had never flown first class, and the experience exceeded her expectations. During the 7-hour flight, she studied materials on Emirati architecture and fantasized about her new life. Abdullah had sent a message before departure. "My driver, Hassan, will meet you at the airport. He will take you to your hotel. We will meet tomorrow for breakfast at the Burj Al Arab. I can't wait to meet you." Dubai International Airport was impressive. Gabrielle looked for a sign with her name. After 45 minutes, a middle-aged Arab man approached hesitantly. "Excuse me, are you Miss Kraus from Germany?" "Yes, that's me." "You must be Hassan." The man looked confused. "Ah, yes, Hassan. Sorry for the delay. Traffic was bad." Hassan led her to a plain Toyota Corolla. Not the luxury vehicle she expected, but she rationalized it as a security measure. "The Jumeirah Beach Hotel, correct?" Hassan asked uncertainly. Abdullah mentioned a 5-star hotel, but didn't specify which one. Yes, very good hotel. You will like it. During the drive, Gabrielle tried to make conversation. How long have you worked for Sheikh Abdullah? Some time. He is good boss. It must be fascinating to work for the royal family. Yes, very fascinating. He seemed uncomfortable. The hotel was genuinely luxurious. At reception, she presented her passport. I have a reservation for Gabrielle Kraus, account of Sheikh Abdullah Al Maktoum. The receptionist checked the system. Yes, Ms. Kraus. We have your reservation for 2 nights. Deluxe room with sea view. Only 2 nights? It should be 5. Let me check. No, only 2 nights confirmed. You may need to extend with the account manager. Gabrielle felt uncomfortable but decided not to make a scene. The room was magnificent. She tried to call Abdullah to confirm their breakfast meeting. The phone went to voicemail. The next morning, she waited in the lobby for instructions. At 10 a.m., a WhatsApp message arrived. Gabrielle, dear, 1,000 apologies. Urgent family emergency. My aunt is in critical condition. The entire family must be present. Impossible to meet today. Gabrielle was disappointed but understanding. I understand. I hope your aunt recovers. When can we reschedule? Tomorrow for sure. Lunch at the most exclusive hotel. I will send a driver at 1 p.m. She spent the day exploring Dubai. The next day, she waited at 1 p.m. At 2 p.m., another message. Family situation has become complicated. Aunt is critical. Impossible to leave hospital. Can we postpone until tomorrow? This time, Gabrielle was frustrated. Abdullah, I understand, but I have commitments in Germany. I need a definitive schedule. You're right. Tomorrow, definitely. If I can't meet, I'll send my brother, Prince Khalid. He knows all the details. The mention of another royal family member reassured her. On the 3rd day, her anxiety grew. Her 2 paid nights were ending. When she tried to extend her stay, she had to pay 800 euros from her own credit card. At 3 p.m., a message arrived. Wonderful news. My aunt has made a miraculous recovery. We can meet today at 6 p.m. A driver will pick you up for a special dinner at my private palace. Gabrielle felt relief and excitement. Finally, after 3 days of delays, the meeting was happening. Hassan arrived in a black Mercedes S-Class. Sorry for previous delays. Royal family has complicated traditions. During the drive, she noticed they were leaving tourist areas for residential neighborhoods. The buildings were luxurious but didn't look like royal palaces. Sheikh Abdullah prefers a private life, Hassan explained. The official palace is for ceremonies. His private home is for special friends. The car stopped at an elegant villa, large but not ostentatious. No royal guards or flags. Are you ready to meet His Highness? Hassan asked. I'm ready, Gabrielle replied confidently, unaware her life was about to change forever. The door opened before she rang the bell. An Arab man in traditional dress appeared. He was attractive, with a charismatic smile, but something in his eyes didn't match the photos. Gabrielle, he exclaimed, opening his arms. Finally, I'm Abdullah. It's a pleasure to meet you after months of correspondence. Gabrielle smiled nervously. His voice was different than she imagined. Younger, with an accent that didn't seem Emirati. Your Highness, she said, curtsying. Please, just Abdullah in private, he replied, taking her hand intimately. The interior was impressive. Persian rugs, Islamic art, expensive furniture. Your residence is magnificent, Gabrielle commented. Thank you. This is where I relax away from court formalities. Dinner was served by an older man, Mahmoud, my personal assistant. For 30 minutes, conversation flowed naturally. Abdullah demonstrated architectural knowledge and showed photos of family buildings. Now, he said seriously, let's talk about our project. I'm eager to hear your ideas. Gabrielle presented her sketches. Abdullah seemed genuinely interested. Impressive, he murmured. You understand the soul of modern Islamic architecture. Gabrielle felt professionally validated. There's just one issue, Abdullah continued. Our lawyers informed us of new regulations. The initial investment needs to be increased to 25,000 euros. It's a new legal requirement. 25,000 euros was almost half her savings. I understand your hesitation, Abdullah said. That's why I insisted you come. I need you to trust me. He leaned closer, placing his hand on hers. Gabrielle, may I speak as a man, not a prince? Our correspondence has meant more than business. I found in you a woman of rare intelligence and elegance. If this project doesn't work, I'd lose not just an opportunity, but a special connection. Gabrielle's heart raced. Was this romantic? Abdullah, I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything yet. Just consider it. This could be the beginning of something bigger, professionally and personally. Dinner continued intimately. Abdullah shared stories of his lonely life and search for authentic connections. At 10 p.m., they walked in the gardens. Under the stars, he became more seductive. Gabrielle, he said near a fountain, I need to be honest. When my family learned of my interest in you, some expressed concerns about traditions, arranged marriages, political pressures. Marriage? Gabrielle felt dizzy. That's why this project is crucial. If we demonstrate professional success, it will be easier to justify other developments. Abdullah, this is moving very quickly. You're right. Forgive me. Let's focus on the project. Back inside, he returned to the investment. 25,000 euros is significant. How about 20,000 euros now, and 5,000 euros when we sign contracts? 20,000 euros was still a lot, but the romantic possibilities clouded her judgment. I need to think about it, she said. Of course. Sleep on it. Give me your answer tomorrow. He kissed her hand longer than proper. I hope our next conversation is the beginning of something extraordinary. On the way back, Gabrielle felt confused and excited. In her room, she researched Sheikh Abdullah online but found no photos matching him. Royal family trees were complex. She rationalized that information might be vague for security reasons. She didn't know that Abdullah was in another apartment, counting money from previous victims, planning how to manipulate her the next morning. The villa was rented, the assistants were paid actors, the food was ordered with borrowed dishes. Everything was a performance to make her hand over her savings. Gabrielle woke after 2 hours of restless sleep. Before committing, she decided to do a thorough check. She called the UAE consulate in Dusseldorf. Good morning. I called last week about Sheikh Abdullah bin Rashid Al Maktoum. I'd like to confirm details about the 200 million euros cultural project. After a hold, the reply came, Ms. Kraus, I have your previous inquiry, but I cannot find information about a project of this magnitude. Major government projects are announced publicly. Gabrielle's heart raced. The cultural complex, museum, library, convention center, approved by the Al Maktoum family. Ma'am, I have no official record. Could you provide the Sheikh's full name? Abdullah bin Rashid Al Maktoum, approximately 45 years old. Ms. Kraus, the Sheikh Abdullah bin Rashid Al Maktoum we know is 23 years old and studying at Oxford. Her world crumbled. But I had dinner with him last night. Ma'am, I strongly suggest you be careful. There have been cases of criminals posing as royalty. Do not give money or documents. Contact us if you feel unsafe. Gabrielle hung up, hands shaking. Was it all a lie? A WhatsApp message arrived. Good morning, my dear princess. I hope you dreamed of us. May I send Hassan at 10 a.m. to discuss next steps? The word princess now sounded grotesque. She decided to confront him. Abdullah, I need to clarify serious inconsistencies. The consulate has no record of the project or of a Sheikh Abdullah your age. The reply came quickly. Gabrielle, this is why we keep projects confidential. Leaked information causes political problems. Local consulates don't have access to secret projects. The explanation seemed plausible, but she tested further. I'd like to visit your family at the main palace. Can you arrange a meeting? A longer pause. Unfortunately, protocol doesn't allow formal visits until projects are approved. That's why we need the investment for bureaucratic approvals. She saw the pattern. Every question was answered with a request for more commitment. Abdullah, I need to see you face to face now. Of course. Hassan will be there at 10 a.m. At 10 a.m., Hassan arrived in the Toyota. Gabrielle observed him critically. His clothes were clean but not expensive. His English was basic. Hassan, how long have you worked for Sheikh Abdullah? Some time. He is good man. Where did you meet? Family introduction. What's the Sheikh's full name? Hassan hesitated. Abdullah bin. Arab names are complicated. Gabrielle realized he didn't know the full name. At the villa, she noticed details she'd missed. No royal guards, no flags. Abdullah greeted her with charm, but she watched skeptically. Gabrielle, you seem worried. How can I allay your fears? I want to see official documents. Royal passport, family ID, project approvals. Of course. But official documents are in a security vault. It takes a few days. I want to see them now. Abdullah changed tactics. Gabrielle, I feel you don't trust me. This hurts. I thought we had a special connection. Trust must be earned with evidence. Right now, things don't make sense. Frustrated, he snapped, Look, do you want this project or not? I don't have time for games. There are other German architects interested. The mask slipped. His language became less formal. Other architects. What do you mean? Backup options, like any serious project. Gabrielle had heard enough. I want to leave. Now. Gabrielle, please don't let misunderstandings destroy our partnership. Hassan, take me back to the hotel. Abdullah's personality changed completely. The charming prince vanished, replaced by someone cold and threatening. Actually, you can't leave yet. We need to discuss your promised investment. What investment? The 20,000 euros you agreed to last night. He produced a tablet showing messages where she apparently agreed. My organization expects payment. I never wrote this. It doesn't matter what you remember. You're not leaving until we receive payment. Gabrielle realized she was being held hostage. Let me out or I'll call the police. Go ahead. Tell them a German woman refuses to pay debts to a local businessman. See how sympathetic they are. She tried her phone, no signal. We have signal blockers here. For privacy. For the first time, Gabrielle felt genuine physical danger. She was trapped. Let's be practical, the man said coldly. Transfer 25,000 euros now, or stay here until you cooperate. You're insane. I'm not giving you anything. Common con artist. You underestimate me. He gestured around the villa. This operation requires planning and investment. You were selected after months of research. We know your finances, your lonely life, your need for recognition. The words hit like physical punches. She had been systematically targeted.